players, front office have put ourselves through this entire year, it's now, and we got to go.
Can you talk about Mookie and the year he's had? And then talk about the outfield defense of Bradley.
Yeah, I think that's been our strongest suit this year is our offense, and I think, you know, Mookie's at the top. I don't think, you know, you look around the league and right out of the gate you have to have your stuff together, you know, facing our lineup. You know, he's definitely been our spark plug. I mean, you're facing Mookie Betts, first batter of the game. That's a tough role, and then it really doesn't get any easier after that. So he's put himself in a different category, I think. And you know, people had some things to say last year, and I think that's done with now. So he's exactly who we thought he was going to be. He's been the same guy through it all, you know, since I've been here, and you know, it doesn't happen by accident either. He puts in the work, and he shows up every day ready to go. So I think there's a lot of other factors that go into it, but you know, hard work pays off, and we saw it.
And
Jackie's defense. I mean, if that the last year, I think he should have won the Gold Glove. I think if this year, if he doesn't, there's a flaw in the system. He's as good as it gets. You know, us as pitchers, we say it all the time. It feels like we're playing with 4 outfielders. The range, the ability that he can put his head down, pick up the ball, his awareness of the field is second to none. I feel like he knows exactly where he is at all times, putting his head down, running at full speed, and that's tough to do, especially here in this park. This is a tough outfield to play in, both in center, left, and right field. You know, with the wall, the angles, and the big right field. So, you know, us as pitchers, we appreciate that, and it doesn't go unnoticed.
Chris, from a physical standpoint, how prepared would you be to pitch either on short rest or out of the bullpen in relief?
I'm ready to go. I'm at the point now where you hand me the ball, I go pitch, and I stop pitching when you take it out of my hand. That's been it's been my philosophy for the last couple of years anyway. It's just put my head down and keep running.
Chris, has it been just unsettling at all not to be on kind of your normal routine the last few weeks of the season, not to be up to, you know, the pitch counts that you're accustomed to, just kind of going into this point right now?
No, it's like I said, it's still baseball. You know, I've prepared myself, and I've had a lot of help getting there, so I'm not worried about this or that. I mean, I know I got somewhere around 100 pitches to cover, and it's going to be everything I got in all those pitches.
Chris, you mentioned your last start sticking with you, your last playoff start sticking with you a little bit. You're trying to learn from it. Did it stick with you a little bit more? And is that something that you're, you know, looking forward to maybe erasing the memory of?
I'm not trying to erase anything. It happened, you know, and I'm not going to run away from it. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think, obviously, I look back and realize the mistakes I made, and like I said, try to learn from it. You know, I'm not going to hide from it. It is what it is. You can Google it now, tomorrow, and 100 years, and it's going to be there. I own it. I accept it, and like I said, I'm going to be better. I'm going to do everything I can to be better, and that's all I can do. You know, it's not going to help me this year. It's not going to help me next year, and it's definitely not going to help me tomorrow. So, you know, the work, the preparation, and everything that's gone into it is what's going to get me through.
Chris, did you watch the game last night, the Yankee game?
We did, yeah. Yes.
What was your reaction when you knew that was the team that you were facing and the lineup that you were facing?
It's fun. I mean, what else do you want? I mean, you got the Yankees and the Red Sox in the playoffs playing against each other. One of the biggest rivalries in sports ever. It's what we signed up for.
What do you remember from like 03 and 04 watching kind of those classic series? Obviously before you were in the majors, but Red Sox, Yankees, kind of those classics.
I mean, obviously looking back, it's a lot of passion, a lot of heated rivalries. You know, that's part of the build-up with this. You know, I mean, I know you guys like to make a big deal of it and everything because of what's happened in the past and obviously earlier this year and all that, but you got two big-time teams that played really good baseball throughout the regular season about to go head-to-head, the most important time of the year. If you can't get excited for that, I think you're doing the wrong thing.
Chris, Pedro Martinez last night made a reference to having enough time for medicine to kick in. You know, when you first went on the DL, you talked about how you thought it would be minor. Can you just talk about the process you've been through with the shoulder? Has it responded as you wanted to? Did you need medicine?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've had, like I said, we've had enough time, and you know, luckily I've said it a lot, even in post-game interviews. Just the team, the way my team has played, you know, our everyday players, our lineup, and you know, the other guys on my staff and the bullpen have allowed me to be able to get back to where I need to be and take that time off when I needed it. Obviously, it's something I didn't like, I didn't want to go through, but it's life. It happens. You know, different things happen on a different day, and you got to handle it. And luckily for myself, we were in a position to be able to handle it in the way we wanted to, and with the best possible medical staff and training staff on the planet. And yeah, we did what we had to do to get ready, and here we are.
Anything else for Chris? All right, Chris, thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Roughly 5-ish, yeah. And
That's what I said.
What up? I'm on coat.
All right, we'll get started with Alex. If you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll start with Johnny to your left, Alex. We'll get you the mic, Johnny.
Yes. How much are you looking forward to playing the Yankees in this series?
I was looking forward for the playoff, regardless of who we play. I've been lucky enough throughout my sporting life to play in rivalries. Miami, FSU, Miami, UF, Dodgers, Giants, here, Astros, Rangers. I guess, yeah. The Golden Boot, whatever it is, yeah. So it's fun. It's fun. One thing for sure, and we lived it through the off season. You know, when I was hired here, then Booney got hired over there. They did their move with a big trade with the Marlins. Then we signed our guys, and I think as far as the fan bases, they were looking forward to this, and you know, it should be fun. It is, you know, I got a taste last year with them, and one thing for sure, man, that stadium, it was loud. It was fun to play there, and should be fun here. Should be fun playing in Yankee Stadium, and we're ready to go.
Other questions for Alex? Pete, we'll get you the mic. In the second row.
Alex, obviously there's not a lot of secrets between you two teams. When you look back at the most recent series, is there anything that you take out of that going into this one, or?
No, we were dying to turn the page. You know, it felt awkward playing them here, the last one, because you know we already clinched everything, and it was just about staying healthy and get your repetitions and move on. So, I mean, they're playing great. You know, they swung the bats well. You guys know how I feel about them. You know, keeping the ball in the ballpark. They've been hitting the ball at the ballpark for a while, but from that series, you know, we didn't get too much out of it as far as like information. We played these guys so much that we're pretty familiar with what they do. The same with us. Probably Booney feels the same way. So there's no secrets. I think at the end of the day, and I know it sounds boring, whatever. Whoever plays better defense and execute pitches and gets clutch hits is going to win the series.
Chris was just in here and he said, I'm scheduled to cover 100 pitches. Is that how you feel about it?
Yeah, we've been talking about him, 2 innings and 40 pitches, and four innings and 60, and then 6 and 100. Now he's a full go. Just go out there and perform. He's in a good place. He's ready to roll. I think you know, he's very excited to start game one, and we're excited too.
Nick.
Alex, obviously the postseason has become so bullpen dominated, right? Would you like to see that reversed with your guys? Would you like to see them go deep in the games, and is that the goal?
Yeah, I mean, we work differently than other teams, and we rely on our starters. Throughout the season, they carry us, and they always, you know, we felt that on a nightly basis they were going to give us a chance to win either 5 innings, 6 innings, whatever, and they were very consistent about it. I don't think it's going to change. Obviously, we have to wait and see as far as how the game goes, where we at in the bullpen, where we at in the lineup, but I do believe, you know, they're probably, you know, we're going to rely on them.
Dan against the left wall.
Alex, just a kind of reflection on that first team dinner that you had before the opener in Tampa, and what last night was like for you and your team as you get ready for this series.
It was cool when you have all the big leaguers watching a baseball game. You know, from the home run in the first inning, you know, like everybody was like, "Whoa!" You know, he crushed that ball, by the way. To look at a few things, you know, like it's different when you're sitting there and then you had all the guys and you can point out a few things. But it was fun. It was very relaxing. It was great to be around. Tony was there, so he had a lot of stories. By the way, it's Tony's birthday today. Don't forget that, LaRussa. Just, it was great, you know. they were very relaxed, and it was cool because the people around kind of like recognize them. You know, like there's a lot of people in this town. Well, that they're very proud of them, and for them to be walking around the restaurant, that was a cool scene. You know, but you know, hopefully we can do it a few more times in October. Get together. Yeah.
And to your right, Alex, Tom.
Yeah, Alex, last 2 seasons, obviously you weren't here, but the team lost in the first round. Any feeling, any discussion, anything about this team that makes you confident that that's behind them? There's no lingering effects from their past playoff experience?
No, talking about experience, I went through it last year with Altuve. I think Altuve, going into that playoff series, he struggled, I guess, whatever, you know, against Kansas City. So he was very anxious and just eager to get going, you know, and we talked to him a little bit like, hey, man, slow it down. You don't have to carry this offense. All of a sudden, bam, you know, game 1 happened. So with these guys, we've been talking about it the whole season. And for me personally, you know, since I got the job, it was like, move on, you know, like I respect John. You know, he was my pitching coach here in 07, and he did some great things here. But, you know, I was hired, so I'd never look back. You know, they're good players. They're very talented. But if you start looking back, then you're going to, you know, start thinking about bad things or bad playoffs or bad series, you know. Since November 3rd, it was 3rd, whatever, you know, it was like look forward. And there's a position we were looking to be in, and just being around those guys, they haven't talked about Cleveland or the Astros. I remind them sometimes, you know. I don't think that's bad. But they're in a good place. They're in a good place. Even yesterday in practice, you know, it was different, you know. A lot of guys wanted live VP. You don't see that often. People wanted to be in the ballpark early, and they're in a good place.
Bill, right here, Alex.
Alex, I was looking at the lineups the last time these two teams played in the playoffs. It was Game 7 of 04, and the majority of the players were 30-somethings. Tomorrow night, I think the majority will probably be 20-somethings or much younger on the average. What do you attribute that to in terms of, you know, the way the game is going or the way the two organizations have developed their rosters here?
That baseball is in a great place. I think, you know, when you play the Indians and you play the Astros and you play the Yankees, there's a lot of talent out there, a lot of athletes, and it's fun. It's fun. Just guys that can take over games. And it's hard in baseball because you only get 4 chances probably at the plate. But those guys, they do it at the plate. They run the bases. They play good defense. And I think it's just watching games. It's pretty exciting. I know people talk about pace of play and all of that, but, you know, at the end, like from now on, people don't care. You know, like 4 hours, 4.5 hours, it doesn't matter because there's a lot of talent out there. As far as the organizations, they do things differently than us, but at the end, we rely on our young athletes. You know, you start looking around, and you got Benny and Xander. Xander just turned, 26. I was like, wow, just 26. Good for you. That's awesome. I think Mookie turns, 26 too on Sunday. Yeah, so it's amazing. It's amazing I look at these guys, and I hate to say it, but it's a good brand of baseball as far as like athletes, and it's fun to watch.
Dan, right over here.
Alex, you talked about being with the Astros last year and beating the Yankees. Is there, understanding it's a different team, a different year, is there anything you can draw on from that experience that you can apply to the series?
Yes, yeah. We're very athletic, just like the Astros. There's a few things that we do very similar to them, and you know, obviously at the end you still have to pitch and do things. They got a different manager too, so they probably do a few things differently. But yeah, I do feel that experience, you know, is gonna help me out in a few things, a few decisions, and a few things that we're gonna do offensively.
Fourth row to your left, Billy.
Alex, J-Hap has done very well over his career in this ballpark, which not a lot of left-handers do. What do you think has led to that success for him?
He relies on his fastball and his pitches to the edges of the strike zone. But We scored 4 the last inning we play against him, so let's use that. But he's been consistent throughout his career. I think he got to the big leagues in 2008, I want to say, with the Phillies, and he has postseason experience. He's solid. It seems like he repeats his delivery. He doesn't shy away from his game plan, regardless if he's getting hit or not. You're gonna get fastballs up and in against righties, and he's gonna expand down and away with his breaking stuff, with the off-speed pitches. He's had a great career, and he's made some adjustments too. When he went to Pittsburgh, he was heavy sinker guy, and all of a sudden he's pitching up in the zone, and he's a good one. He's really a good one.
How important is it for left-handed pitchers to be able to pitch in this ballpark?
Just sometimes guys come here and they see that wall and they become pull happy, so you don't want them to extend, like look for pitches out of third and hook the ball to the wall. So you got to establish in. It's very important. Just like in New York too, kind of like you have to pitch inside because you can flip it. Pitches off out of third or away, you can flip to right field. It's a home run. So it works the same way.
Right here.
Alex, tu primera serie de postemporada como manager, ¿cuáles son las emociones tratándose de la rivalidad y te imaginaste esto cuando aceptaste esta posición?
Sí, me lo imaginé. Esa era la meta, llegar al playoff, y hay metas más grandes, pero de verdad que estamos en una muy buena posición. Contentos de que llegue mañana. Los muchachos están preparados y hemos trabajado para esto toda la temporada. Así que de verdad que debe ser una serie súper excitante, jugando contra los Yankees, que es una rivalidad increíble, y va a ser sumamente divertido.
We'll take 2 last ones. Chris?
You obviously weren't here for 03 and 04, but from your playing time here, what were your kind of favorite memories of the Yankees rivalry?
I got a hit of Mariano in the 8th inning on a Friday game, RBI hit. That was cool. And then, and the game in New York, that Tito, he offered the players a gift if you have 4 RBIs. In the first at bat, I hit a homer, had 2 RBIs there. Then there was a minute second, 2 outs in the 8th. I hit a fly ball, and Tito was in the bench trying to pull that ball back, and it hit the fence. It was a triple, so I only had 1 RBI instead of 4. Yeah, but the Mariano game, Mariano Rivera. Yeah.
And Evan, you good? Johnny, Dan, you got it.
Hey, Alex, just a 2-part question. One on how close are you to your roster, and will Rivalry start Game 4? And also, just you might have been asked the question earlier, but what's it been like, the reaction from Puerto Rico?
With the roster, we'll announce it tomorrow. We're very close to decide where we're going. We have to talk to the players about it. Nate is scheduled to start Game 4. And as far as Puerto Rico, there's a lot of people flying tomorrow, so it should be fun. There's a lot of, I'm a Yankee fan where we're pulling for you, which I don't believe. But they're very proud. I got text messages from a lot of people, a lot of important people back home, and they'll be watching. And like I've been saying, I know they're proud of me, but I'm proud of them. What they've done as a country, what we've done just to put ourselves in the map again, and not to think about Maria and everything that went on last year. It's a huge accomplishment. And hey, I'm here. They're gonna be watching, and I'm glad that they're gonna be paying attention to what's gonna happen in the next few days.
We'll take one last one, Johnny.
Alex, can you talk about the Yankees lineup and what will be the keys of defeating them in Boston?
We gotta keep it in the ballpark. That's the most important thing. I think they, from top to bottom, they can hit the ball out of the ballpark. It's a tough lineup. Like I've been saying, there's heat maps, there's red, and there's blue. We gotta pitch to blue. If we do that, we're gonna be in good shape.
Thanks so much, Alex. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.